actually welcome into a sad episode of Two Guys and a Mic, sponsored by Jim Minton Sports. Obviously, you can tell by the sadness because all three of us are wearing Braves hats, and they just got their ass whooped by the Phillies. I will say this: congratulations to the Phillies. They played one hell of a series. It's almost like the offenses flopped. They were dropping bombs the whole series. Especially when they went home. What did they hit, like 11? Or
I think they hit 11 home runs total
that
this series.
Huh?
11 home runs total this series. They hit six home runs in Game 3.
Yeah. It's interesting about baseball because you can have a team that looks like pretty good, but come playoff time, they're just kind of built for the playoffs. I feel like Philadelphia is one of those teams that is built and constructed to have success in a short term as opposed to like a long term. Their top three pitchers are great, and all three of them pitched really well in this series, especially Suarez. Congratulations to him. He, Matt, as you stated,
He shut down the Braves twice.
He did
all year, not even twice.
Well, I'm talking about just postseason.
Yeah, he did it during the regular season too. But one of the things about the Phillies, I think people kind of thought maybe like it wasn't going to be really that big of a deal. The Braves had this huge historic season, which I will say doesn't mean shit when you don't do it in the playoffs. I could care less about all the home runs they hit, the runs scored, all this offense, blah, 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 blah. If you do not do it in the playoffs, you can fuck off with all your stats.
It was all for nothing.
Yeah, Acuna is supposed to be the front runner MVP. He comes up with the season on the line, bases loaded, 2 outs, and you don't pull through. And in fact, he batted under 150 for the series.
Yeah, I mean he put a good AB or a good bat on the ball. It was a nice play by the center fielder too, tracking it down in the gap right by the wall.
It doesn't.
I'm not gonna say he's not clutch. He's done it before. He did it in 2018. He hit the grand slam off of Buehler. He's done it before. It's just, just didn't happen. It wasn't in the cards this time for him.
Yeah, and when you think about the Phillies, they started real slow this year. Harper, he missed about a third of the season, maybe a little bit more, and then he doesn't have a spring trainer or nothing. He's got to get going.
Turner was sluggish to start too after the World Baseball Classic.
Turner was sluggish the entire year until almost the last 6 weeks of the season, and dude caught fire. And he carried that over into the playoffs. He hit, 500 this series?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think the only guy in the Braves lineup who hit over 300 was Riley. I'm not even sure if his average even stayed over 300 after he
353.
Yeah, you see, it's just when you have one guy only hitting, it's ridiculous. I will say the pitching for the Braves showed up, although except for Elder. But Matt, one of the things me and you were talking about,
that was the question mark. We all said it. That was the question mark start for this series.
Yeah. Now, with Morton being hurt, I think that really hurt the Braves' chances of winning this thing. I already had it 50-50 going into the series. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Braves should win, blah, blah, blah." No, you guys don't understand.
No Morton for Game 3. You have to win Games 1 and 2.
You have to, yeah. As soon as we got shut out that first game, and you looked into the dugout, there was no excitement. It was almost like the Braves expected just to go into this thing, and it was just going to be handed to them. But then you look over at the Phillies dugout; these guys you could see the drool coming out of their mouth. They wanted this. I think they were the only team in the National League who were like, "Yeah, give us the fucking Braves." And the other thing I will say is, Phillies have absolutely 100% the best home field advantage of any team in the playoffs. They have the best fan base when it comes to just getting into other players' domes. Now, this is going to be recorded this should be posted the day after, and I'm pretty sure the video of Arcia is going to blow up where he's doing faces to the stands, sticking his tongue out. telling him, yelling "shut up" in Spanish, like you're fucked. Like you're done. And I'm glad
you're mentally, you are not in the game. You've checked out at that point
and
because the fans have gotten in your head. You're done.
And that's why in game 4 he got pitched hit for in his last at bat. Now, Matt, you made a really good point as far as what Snicker did. Is lefty on lefty. So he pitch hits Rosario.
And that he hasn't done that all season. He has not pinched hit Rosario with the left-handed pitcher on the mound. He has not done it.
Well, what came out of your mouth? What'd you say? Why not put Grissom in right here, right?
Grissom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And keep Darno in there.
And what does he do? He takes Darno out and pitch hits
for Grissom.
Like that's stupid. Why would you not pitch hit Grissom?
Darno was already out at that point when he got pinch ran for by Wall.
No, at the end of the game, Mike. No, he wasn't. Darno went in for him.
That was Harris.
Yeah. No, it's Snit. I don't know. He was outclassed this series as far as managerial wise. To me, there's a lot of decisions that were iffy. Like game 1 of this series, you change the lineup. You have an all-time offense during the regular season, and then you go and change it because you want the top of your lineup facing the majority of their lefties out of the bullpen, because it was a bullpen game with Suarez out there after only going 3 innings. And that was Philly's whole plan, to go bullpen. So he wanted more righties at the top, and it's like, why fix something that's not broken?
That didn't work out. Braves had 5 hits that entire game.
Ever since the first game of the series, I just thought Snit was outcoached this whole series, to be honest with you. There was just questionable things throughout this whole series, but it is what it is.
So the other thing, before we jump into the Dodgers Diamondbacks series, I do want to say that I think MLB should maybe look into changing the way that they have the playoff format.
100% agree. There's
just one. I don't agree with all the days off.
And we're not being a salty Braves fan. Just okay, good.
You have baseball's 162 games. Other than the All-Star break, which is way back in fucking July, you're talking about something 2.5, 3 months ago. When else do you have more than 1 day off?
Or 2.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. So now you're going in, you have a number 1 seed or number 2 seed. You get an entire week off. Your offense cools. Now you go in and you're playing against a team that just came off a series win, who's playing at a high.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you're coming out flat. It happened. I mean, it happened to the Braves. It happened to the Dodgers, and it happened in Baltimore.
I will say this: I actually didn't think Baltimore had a chance to win that series, but we'll get to that when that happens. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Mike. And it's how you gonna give? Like, I almost feel like you almost have an advantage. Not
to be a wild card team.
Yeah, because Philly got to go in, and everyone knew they were gonna smash the Marlins. Period. Okay, but here's the other thing: why is MLB not? They're like the only league that doesn't do reseeding. It really should have been the Diamondbacks versus Braves, and Phillies versus
the Dodgers.
Now, I'm not saying the Phillies would not have beat us in a 7-game series, if we had gotten past Arizona. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything like that. But you're going to give a team that's had some days off an opportunity to play the lower seed, which they earned the right to do, being the number 1 seed going. The other thing I'd like to see is I think both series should be 7-game series. I don't know why the first is a 5. I think they should just change everything to a 7. Do what you did with the wild card. I do agree. 2 wins gets you moving on. But it should literally be like the end of the season, 1 day off for travel. You play the games. I think you play all the wild card games in a row until there's a winner. A day off for travel, and then boom, and you're jumping into that next series. And it should be back-to-back games. Think about it. The top of the Phillies' top of the rotation was already going for game 2 and 3.
Yeah,
they didn't miss.
Well, yeah, because why was there a day off between game 1 and 2 when there was no travel?
That's what I'm saying.
Game one Saturday in Atlanta, game 2 Monday in Atlanta. No travel, no reason to have Sunday off.
Yep. No, I told Matt.
They should bring back the wild card 1 game One game. Have what is there, 4 matches? Just bring it to one game again. If you don't want to give the number 1 and 2 seed a 5-day break, give them a one game. That way they have 2 days off and then they're playing again.
See,
Back in the DS.
the only reason I don't agree with that is because I don't think baseball season, it's so long. I don't think your playoff chances should be decided in one game. We all know.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but they're the wild card team. They're a wild card team for a reason. They don't get the luxury for that to happen. To me, that's what I.
The Rays were a wild card team, and you tell me that would be fair to them? Second best record in American League. They just happened to be in the division with the top team in Baltimore. So you're going to say that they had the second best record, but
they expanded to 8. Like I was telling
that was
Mike.
The other thing that you and I were talking about, Matt, is they expanded to 8. If
And
they
let
had expanded
the number 1 seed team play the 8 seed and do not have no buys.
If they had expanded it to 8, the other 2 teams in the American League that had been in, or that would have been Seattle with an 88 and 74 record, and the Yankees at 82 and 80. In the National League, you would have had the Cubs at 83 and 79, and you would have had, well, it was San Diego and Cincinnati were both tied at 82-80. I don't know who had the tiebreaker there.
I will say San Diego was hot.
You still would have had teams with winning records making the postseason if you expanded to 8.
Okay,
and
so
you reseed it all the way through 1 through 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5.
Okay, then
after round 1, you reseed it. Who gives a fuck at the beginning going into the postseason? Who is in the same bracket all the way down? Football reseeds, and they're the biggest revenuing sport there is.
Yeah. Now, okay, if you were to do that, would you say I would suggest then I think you go 5.
Then you go 5-game series.
I think you go back to back. I think because it's going to prolong
for the first 2 series. Yeah.
I think you go 5-game, 7-game at that.
Then 7.
If you're going to do that.
Yep.
But yeah, so
yeah,
the one team I really just didn't want the Braves to play was the Phillies. I just really felt like the Braves could have handled anyone else, but I knew Philadelphia. The Braves have never beat the Phillies in the playoffs. Did you guys know that? They've never beat them.
No, I did not know that. That's all time?
All time. They've never beat them in the playoffs.
The other stat, which they said tonight, was Turner was the first Phillies to have a 4-hit game in the postseason in Phillies history. That was surprising.
So I think we said what we want to said.
Yeah.
Braves flat tire on all 4 freaking wheels of the car. Philadelphia, congratulations. Good luck in the next round. Going back to another disappointing series for, at least if you're a Dodgers fan, you got swept by not only a divisional opponent, but a much lesser team. Betts, the other player, well, actually Betts and Freeman, the other 2 guys that are really up for any type of other MVP discussion, Betts didn't get a hit. Freeman had, I think, 1 hit, maybe 2. He batted 100 for the series. So very disappointing. I think the only guy, I think Smith was the only guy that hit for the Dodgers. Pitching, Kershaw, I still do not understand the Kershaw thing and not being able to
playoff Kershaw.
Yeah, he got fucking racked again, like bad. I almost believe that they should maybe just keep him in the pen.
He's done. Yeah.
Yeah, for these. Now, I'm hearing, like, what do you guys think? Is it time to move on managerial-wise for the Dodgers now?
For Dave Roberts?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of Dodgers fans are already not fans of him. They think that he makes a lot of mistakes. They don't agree with.
They were tired of him last postseason.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the Dodgers go ahead and make an off-season move and move on from Roberts?
I don't think so. I think they give him 1 more year.
Yeah.
I think they're too stuck in their ways. They're going to let him. I mean, they were missing a lot of pitching to their credit. I mean, no Walker Buehler.
Buehler. Dustin May's been out the whole season. We all know what happened with Urias.
Urias, yeah.
Or Urias, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah. But they were outmatched.
That guy's career is done.
Yeah. So, That's another thing. But no, I think he's back one more year, and then if things don't go well, I think he's out. He should be on the way out, but we'll see.
Arizona, though, I mean,
Oh,
they did well. They pitched really, really good, and they hit in clutch situations. I think Corbin Carroll batted like I want to say he was close to 500.
he's hot.
Corbin Carroll, 412.
Yeah,
And that's only because he went 0 for 3 game 3.
yeah. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, the Diamondbacks they're another team that's a little bit scrappy, a little bit more built for a short term. But my prediction for Phillies Arizona, I think is going to be a good series. But again, just Philadelphia having that home field advantage.
Phillies in 6.
Yeah, I got Phillies in 6, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
But if I am Philly, I'm probably hoping more for a 6-game series because I think on the other side it's gonna go 7, and I wouldn't want to interrupt like that hot streak. You know what I mean?
You don't want your series getting over too quick.
Correct. You don't want to be sitting there for 3 or 4 days and then have to go play the World Series against a team that just got out of like a hard fat battle. They're pumped. They're ready to go. They haven't missed a beat. So, with that said, do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Who do you guys have between the Diamondbacks and Phillies?
I'd say Phillies.
I say Phillies, but I'm going for the Diamondbacks. I like Arizona's offense, man. If they can hit like that and keep continuing to put the ball in play the way they did against the Dodgers pitching, I liked it a lot, man. That top of that lineup.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you see what the top of their lineup batted this series?
Yeah, it was insane, man.
Corbin Carroll 412, and he was 0 for 3 game 3. Marte 318, Pham 318, and he went 0 for 4 game 3. Walker 294, Moreno 250. That's their top 5 hitters right there, 1 through 5.
I'm telling you, they got some scrappy hitters, and it starts with Corbin Carroll. He gets on base, he can make things happen, he can steal bases, he can hit for power.
And I think their top 2 starters, I think they can match Wheeler and Nola with Gallen and who's their number 2? I can't remember his name. But yeah, I think they can put up a match against them, but they're still a young team. They're really young, so I would go with the Phillies.
They're going to be a team to contend for a while with how young they are.
Yeah, they could be. The other reason I'm also leaning towards the Phillies. So my coworker, the guy I work with every single day, it's only me and him in the position I am at work. His son has been on off the Phillies roster this year as a relief pitcher, Luis Ortiz. And if they win the World Series, he gets a ring, and he you know what I mean? So he was a first-round draft pick of the Baltimore Orioles. I think it was 2016, I believe, and he flew through the minors, and he's been in the big leagues ever since. So I'm not 100% sure if he's on the roster for the playoffs. I'm not 1,000% sure, but because I didn't look. But either way, he played games with them during the regular season, so he would get a World Series ring. So, that's my guy. So, if anything, Phil's
you're going for him more for a personal connection.
Yeah. Rays fans probably hate me right now, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, moving on, another disappointing. Well, I shouldn't say disappointing series between the Rangers and the Orioles because, dude, the Rangers can flat out hit, and they got good pitching. And they are a team that no one's really talking about, and they should be. I believe that they're going to not put it on the Astros, but I believe that the Rangers will win between that meeting. Here's my issue with Baltimore. They're just so young. They are just so young. Yeah, they did great during the regular season, but the one thing I don't think they have enough of is pitching. And I think they're going to need to go out in the offseason and get themselves an arm. They really need like a big top of the rotation guy to kind of help with these young guys. They're probably, I wouldn't have any doubt that Holiday gets brought up sometime next year. They're going to get another great bat, an an
Oh,
outstanding player.
they're coming, dude. On offense,
Yeah.
they are coming.
I got Orioles winning the World Series, not next year, but I believe the year after that.
25.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be really, really good. Unfortunately, Rutschman, I think he hit like 0.83 for the series, but Gunnar Henderson turned it on. I think he batted four, right, like 479.
500.
Up hitting 500. Yeah, nice to see because I know he started off really slow for the year and he kind of had an up and down. So it was really good to see him do well in the playoffs. But I think this is just one of those things. I mean, the Rangers have a lot of vets. They have a lot of playoff experience on that team, and it showed. It just flat out showed. And so I think next year, Orioles get a little bit more experience. I believe they're going to make the playoffs again. I do believe they get out of the first round, and I think they finally get out of the hump out of in 2025.
How about this series? It's a Texas two-step, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now, do you see the Rangers doing this again next year? Remember, they lost to Grom, but they replaced him with Verlander.
I don't know.
You're going to have next year. You're going to have DeGrom coming back from the surgery. Another year on him
himself.
Plus a year, plus being off, and Verlander's going to be another year older.
Now, I will say this though, Mike. The problem. Well, Verlander's not with the Rangers. You're thinking about Scherzer.
Scherzer, my bad. Yeah, Scherzer.
So the one.
And I think we lost them.
And it's one guy and a mic.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if Sky has technical difficulty. Oh no, he's gonna have to rejoin the live right now.
Nope. Well, he's in the background.
Let me get him in here. So what do you think, Mike? You think that they continue that, like you said? I don't think so. I think this is honestly might be their last hoorah. I'd say
they remember though they did start off hot in the season. In the beginning of the season, they cooled down, and Houston was the one that actually caught fire.
Yeah, they were. But I mean, who knows? Who do you see coming out of that series?
I'm going to go Houston. Houston, I think, has the experience. I mean, you got.
I think they returned all 8-9 starters.
Yeah,
right. Am I correct? Except for what's the name that's in Minnesota? I forget his name.
My bad.
Carlos
Correa. Yeah.
My bad, guys. I forgot to put airplane mode, and Lucky called me right now and he booted me off. So thanks, Lucky. Anyways, what I was trying. What I was trying to say.
We're expanding on Houston and the Rangers, who were taking in the series.
Oh, I got Rangers. I got Rangers in 7, but I
got Houston based on experience.
I'm going with the Astros based off of them being there before and all that good stuff with the experience.
So one thing I was trying to tell you, Mike, about DeGrom is that anytime someone's had a second Tommy John surgery,
they've never come back the same.
Yeah, he's not going to be the same.
Their velocity drops by about 2 to 3 miles an hour.
3,
yeah, that's just
which is going to be interesting to see. And I know he's not playing right now, but that's going to be interesting to see with Shohei. Unless Shohei is not. Is Shohei? Did they announce what surgery he's having?
He's not pitching next year. They already announced it, didn't they?
I know. So he's going with full on Tommy.
You know what? I haven't even looked into it. I'm not going to.
I don't think so. I don't think it was full Tommy.
Yeah, how about we don't talk about things that we haven't looked into?
Yeah.
Well, no, I was just using that as an example because you were bringing up the second Tommy John.
Yeah, and it is, but DeGrom will probably be huffing around 95, 96, so we'll see how much of a difference that makes. But okay, well, do you guys start talking about the last series?
The Rangers and Astros?
No. You guys talk about Astros, Minnesota.
Astros Twins.
No, I didn't.
I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. I think the only people who thought they would win would be the Twins fans. But there was no way the Twins were going to beat the Astros. So I think there's going to be a great matchup though between Astros and Rangers. But again,
Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you: is this off of MLB? Is this what you think they expected to happen? This is the second year in a row as far as like playoffs, the top 2 seeds of each division being gone. Do you think that baseball is going to take a hit as far as ratings wise? Because they said it was down last year in the World Series.
I don't think
compared to the
it's
year
going to
before
take a
that.
hit ratings wise. I think you're going to hear more and more and more people start to complain about their playoff format.
Yeah, people are going to say this isn't the best teams out there based off of the 1-13 record with the 5 teams with the best record during the season that are eliminated.
That something's not right when you have your top 5 overall MLB teams going 1-13 in the postseason.
I will say this: if the Rangers don't make it and the Astros do, I think it will take a hit to the ratings. I think I'm overseeing the Astros in the world. I'm completely over it. Like I'm not trying to watch another Astros team in the
Now,
world.
wasn't it Phillies and Astros last year?
Yep.
So you could have a rematch again.
Yeah, I'm not trying to watch the same 2 fucking teams. That's not. You won't even catch me watching the World Series, man. I'm trying to see some fresh blood in there. So I don't care if Phillies, like I said, I don't care if the Phillies make it, but I just think it would be a really good series. I will say this: it doesn't matter whether the Rangers or the Astros make it. I think both of them are very good teams, and I think if the Phillies do happen to make it, it is going to be a really, really good World Series. But I just don't want to watch the same 2 teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Phillies are better built this year than they were last year, though.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know what? We didn't talk about it. You kind of got to watch that news on Harper that hit with Olsen at the end of the game.
Oh, they ran
into his elbow. Yeah,
he'll be fine.
We know he won't have a career in football. I'll tell you that much. He couldn't take that hit, but
that'll go ahead and do it for this episode. 2 Guys on the Mic. We appreciate you jumping in. Leave a comment if you want to see us maybe talk about something a little bit more or anything like that. So with that said, everyone have a good night and good luck to any team if you are a fan of any of the teams that are left.
Go Braves.
Next year.
When are you guys going to end the stream?